Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. Well, as COVID-19 continues to spread across the United States and here in the state of Missouri as well, Lisa Marshall with the Taney County Health Department is joining us on the show today to answer a couple questions about COVID-19 for us. Lisa, thanks for being here. So what is the current status regarding COVID-19 in Taney County right now?
Sure, thanks for having me. I think what we're seeing, our new cases are on their way up, but that's not terribly unexpected. We sort of knew that as we entered the fall and winter months, we would certainly see ebb and flows as we all start to gather together inside as the weather gets a bit cooler. So certainly not terribly surprising, but it certainly is on its way up at the moment.
And what are some things you were looking for in the daily COVID-19 positive totals in Taney County, and what is your level of concern at right now?
Sure. So at this point in time, we just continue to really focus on prevention and asking our community to take all those precautionary measures. I know that pandemic fatigue is a real deal. These sorts of things are not fun to do. It's not fun to physically distance or wear face coverings. Or avoid large gatherings, but those are all the things that we really need people to be focusing on. We want to be sure that as we enter the flu season that we're not overrunning our healthcare facilities with COVID patients and not having anywhere to send those that go there for flu and other things. So really, we're very much focusing on how to keep our residents and our community safe and healthy throughout this holiday season.
And while you mentioned the flu, what are some, have you seen a number of flu cases so far this year as well? A lot of people have talked about the nightmare scenario, if you will, of COVID-19 cases and flu cases at the same time. What have you all seen so far this season regarding the flu?
Sure, we typically see our flu season start about now. And so we tell people the best line of defense is, of course, a flu vaccination. So you can still get those. So we encourage people, if you've not got it, it's not too late this season, and really encouraging those. And then, of course, all of those things that overlap with COVID-19, so the hand hygiene, we can't stress the importance of staying home if you're sick, but all of those sorts of things are what's going to help protect our community from the flu as well as COVID. But again, it's not too late to get that flu vaccine if you haven't done so this year, and there's certainly places to do that.
And it's hard to believe we're already into the second week of November here, and a few weeks away from Thanksgiving, and then a couple more weeks after that will be Christmas. And I know a lot of families around the Ozarks are starting to, plan out the traditional holiday gatherings, and they're looking for, guidance and advice as to what to do this year. So what would you say to folks here in the Ozarks that, are looking for guidance on their holiday planning?
So we would encourage people that there are a number of ways to celebrate the holidays that are coming up and to do so safely. So, some of the things that we think about traditionally happening with our holidays, like the large gatherings, the large meals, they're things that just need to be adapted a little bit. So, we are encouraging people that physical distancing. So continuing to stay that distance away from folks that are not within your household. As much outdoor activities as possible are also encouraged. Anytime we start to see people gather indoors is when you increase that risk of virus transmission, and that goes for the flu as well. So some of those things are going to be really important this year. Also, really watching those gathering sizes. And so the more people we get together, the more opportunity there is for COVID-19 to spread. And so we're really asking folks to kind of focus on, smaller gatherings with their household numbers. And just smaller gatherings in general. Like I said, once we get more people together, that virus transmission possibility increases. And so those are some of the main things. Also, there's a lot that can be done around, the food preparation. So being mindful of how many people are touching things. So, the buffet style that is pretty traditional, you might want to look at having a single person do the serving, and that way everyone's not touching the same utensils. Some other things around just food preparation, being sure that people that are preparing food are not sick at that point in time. That's very, very important. And then also just kind of monitoring how many people are preparing food. Really, if you can focus on decreasing those opportunities for the virus to spread, that's really the best idea as far as holiday gatherings go. And of course, hand hygiene cannot be underscored. That is so very important at this point in time to make sure if you are prepping food that you're washing your hands well and frequently.
Absolutely. Now, Taney County is a big destination during this time of year, the holiday season, especially in Branson. Now, what's the level of concern for you in terms of having, possibly more people heading to the Taney County area this holiday season, and what would you recommend in terms of what type of places folks should feel comfortable visiting there in the area?
Sure. So again, some of that goes to the outdoor spaces. So being sure that, if you are going to be visiting the shopping available here in our area, to look for those that are outdoor. And then again, many of our stores are doing a really great job as far as the hand hygiene, having hand sanitizer stations around. We, of course, have the face covering ordinances here in Branson and also in Forsyth. So that's certainly a great option to help keep yourself safe. And then, of course, keeping that distance can't be we can't overstress that, the importance of watching how close you are to other people. And of course, there's always online shopping opportunities if you are somebody that is higher risk. So it's really important to kind of keep an eye on what is your own health risk if you were to go out and contract COVID. So, of course, we want to encourage people that just really watching those preventive measures and continuing to practice those, even if they are going to be out and shopping. Just are really important right now. Basically, human behavior is our best line of defense at this moment until we get a vaccine. So we need to continue to be diligent on that front.
And really quickly, before we let you go, you just spoke about a possible vaccine. There was news announced today that Pfizer has had good results so far in their vaccine trial. Any idea of how the Taney County Health Department might play a role in implementing that vaccine or being able to distribute it when that time comes, whenever that might be?
Sure. So we lean very heavily on the state health department for that. They do have a plan for our entire state. So our team is ready and we're willing to jump in and help where needed. So we're just waiting to see what that timeline might look like, since we did get that information today as far as the vaccine information. So we'll hang tight until we hear more from the state health department and then just jump in wherever we're needed. And we're certainly ready to do so.
All right, Lisa Marshall from the Taney County Health Department. Lisa, thank you so much for coming on the show today, answering a lot of questions I know a lot of folks here around the Ozarks have.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back with more Ozarks Tonight right after this.